connect just host to your Dreamweaver FTP support. And it's so easy. What you need to do is log into your justhost.com account till you reach your cPanel. And you can reach the same page by even typing in your domain name /cPanel, and it'll bring you to a login page, and it will load you into this page right here. So what's really important, and if you haven't set up FTP before, and you're going to be the only person on the account to access this, all that information is provided to you right under here with stats. Okay, there's your domain name, here's your username, and your home directory. We don't need the home directory right now because, in fact, this is different for you when you go to log in at FTP. All right, so the simple way is I'm just going to copy the username that they give me, and I'm going to go to Dreamweaver, and at the top of your application is a tab called Site. And when you go to a site, you'll say New Site or Manage Sites, either way. And it'll come up with this. All right. Right now, site name, we're just going to give it a name. My site is, I'll just call it My Site. And local site folder. This is where all of your files that you're going to create are going to live. All right. So when you upload them, everything in this folder will go together. So if you have subfolders, other documents, anything like that needs to be in this one folder. Okay, it's very, very, very important that you respect the folders and the naming conventions of HTML, and that everything is exact. Even if you misspell something, it has to be misspelled the same way every time. Otherwise, you break links and things just don't work. Okay, so you decide where that folder is, whether it's going to be on your desktop or in your documents folder or somewhere that you have to remember. But wherever it is, and it has to stay the same, is you're going to define that. And you can go browse for that folder. Okay, the next important part is adding your website under servers. And we're going to click the plus button. Now the server name is just another name. All right, you can call it whatever you can. If you have more than one server or hosting service that you use, you can just call it that. Just host or the name of your website again, doesn't matter. We're going to connect using FTP. Your FTP address by default is your URL. It will add in already the ftp.yoururl.com. Okay, so for example, mine is boiseportraits.com. My username is what I copied, so I'm going to paste that in there. And my password is what I use to log in with to my cPanel. All right. So there it is. And I'm going to test my connection, make sure that it works. There we go. Adobe Dreamweaver CS6 connected to my web server successfully. Awesome. Okay, but here's one more thing. Your root directory. If we just leave it as it is, it's going to dump out everything that's just right there in my home folder on my server. And I don't want that because on my server exists a folder called /public_HTML. This is where everything lives that can be viewed on the internet. Okay, anything outside of this folder is not necessarily for public viewing. It can still be accessed on the internet, but not for public viewing. All right. So now I'm going to hit save. I got my server set up going here. I'm going to hit save again. And it says that I have something already chosen for this. I'm just going to hit OK. Connecting to my site. Perfect. So now here at the bottom corner of Dreamweaver, okay, I have files. And it's a window that you can show or open up if it's not showing already. And so here's my folder called My Site, and I have other folders on my computer that I've set up. Okay, cancel that. And here's the view. I have local view, which would be the folder and files on my computer hard drive. Okay, so there's obviously nothing in here right now. Remote server is showing everything in public_HTML. All right, it's got all my files for my website that I have up. There's my index file that the web browser reads when it gets there, okay? And everything else that I need for my website to run. And I'm running a WordPress website, so there's a lot of files already in there. For your website, you'll just have index.html, maybe a folder that says images, other HTML documents, maybe another subfolder that takes you to a different category on your website. However it works, it all has to be in the same folder. And that's what you should see, and everything else like that. Okay, so if you're ready to sync everything in this folder with your server, you would just hit this synchronize with remote server button, the little round arrows going around. Okay, that will sync everything that has changed in the folder. If you want to upload just a specific folder or a document, you select it and then you say put files to remote server. Awesome. So it's really quite simple how that works. But let's go back to your Just Host panel. Okay, if you scroll down to where it says Files, all right, you'll see FTP accounts. If you click on that, you can add an FTP account login. So if you're going to have more than one person accessing this, you can create their own login and password to go with that account. But more importantly and more helpful if you want to use something other than Dreamweaver is I can configure my FTP client. And FileZilla for Windows and for Macintosh, they give you the configuration and instructions on how to do it. Okay, if Dreamweaver is having a tremendous amount of trouble syncing your files or uploading them, I would recommend that you go and get FileZilla for your platform and set that up and then try and upload the same files again. Sometimes Dreamweaver has a hard time with that, and then FileZilla is a really good way to do the same thing. It might do it a little differently or more secure. I don't know, but it's up to you. Having it built into Dreamweaver is really, really handy, but sometimes it might have a connection error or it thinks that the file already exists and doesn't need to be updated. So keep that in mind on how to do that. And you can, like I said, create more FTP accounts, log in the same way, and there's help topics on all of that. But connecting it to Dreamweaver, that's the easiest way. If you are in Dreamweaver and it doesn't work, you can go up to Site, Manage Sites, and it'll list all the sites that you're connected to. Something you probably want to do if you plan on moving around from computer to computer and you need this connection information is you can click on it and then you can export the currently selected information. So when you go to a new computer with Dreamweaver, you can import site, and that's the information that will come up, is all your login information. Okay, so it's really handy, and I hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to make comments or anything on the video, and I'll try to help.